It is a proven fact that social media has a massive impact on our productivity. Apps like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are designed to keep our attention with their infinite feeds and bite-sized pieces of content that give us the illusion that we are in control of our time and that we will get to what we need to do after just one more video or a few more tweets. One distraction leads to another, and before we know it, we lost 2 hours of our time that was meant to be spent on writing a paper, practicing a new skill, or working on a creative project. This is even more amplified when our daily routines and habits are disrupted by extended lockdowns like we are currently experiencing here in Australia. Studies have shown that social media use increased by about 60% during the first wave of the pandemic in 2020. Being locked up at home, we're naturally spending a lot more time on our devices. Even if we have set an intention to use this time to work on personal projects, learn a new skill, or exercise at home, we often end up mindlessly scrolling through social media and not getting anything done. This is something I have been really struggling with since the start of this current lockdown. Instead of supercharging my video output, I was spending way too much time scrolling, feeling bad about my lack of discipline and comparing myself to others. To make this lockdown a lot more productive, I needed to take action, so I decided to delete all my social media entirely. Alright, so we're going into week 8 of lockdown here in Sydney, and it's August the 15th. I've decided to do a Matt D'Avella style experiment and delete all my social media for 30 days while we're in lockdown. The main goal with this is for me to stop mindlessly scrolling through my feeds. Especially during lockdown, you end up constantly reaching for your phone and wasting so much time looking at social media because, let's be honest, what else is there to do? I recently started deleting my social media on weekends when I work on videos, but I do want to go a step further here and take a proper break and see what it does to my productivity, my mental health, and how much more time I will have for other things. Now, the tricky part is that I still want to post on Facebook and Instagram when I publish new videos, as you guys often only know about the new videos when I post them over there. So I will still be going in every now and then, but I have set 3 clear rules for myself. Number 1, no social media apps on my phone and iPad. That includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Number 2, YouTube use limited to maximum 2 videos per day and only after 9 p.m. And number 3, after publishing a new video, I will post the video on Facebook and Instagram. I will prepare everything outside the app and then log into the desktop version and only make my post. No scrolling whatsoever. Okay, so these are the rules. Today is day 1 and let's get rid of the apps. Okay, the phone is done. iPad. That's it, they're all gone. I'll be checking in with you over the course of the next 30 days and let you know how I go, and wish me luck. Social media detoxing has become a bit of a trend, and people talk a lot about how they were more active, more social, and overall a lot happier enjoying life outside the digital world. However, it sounds a lot less fun when you're locked up inside. Even with less opportunities for other activities, the benefits remain the same, especially when you try to be more productive or want to keep your mental health in check. Here are 2 things I noticed. Number 1, I procrastinated a lot less. Only after I deleted the apps from my phone, I realized how often I would just mindlessly open Instagram or YouTube and start scrolling. After all these apps were gone, there were so many moments where I picked up my phone looking for distraction without even thinking about it, but there was nothing on there, so I put the phone away and started working. And number 2, I didn't compare myself to others. When you're on social media all the time, you can easily get caught up in comparing yourself to other creators, as they always seem to have better content and seem a lot more productive than you are. Not being exposed to that allowed me to focus on just doing my work and not so much on how it compares to other people's stuff. This is something that really freed up my mind. And generally, settling into this new normal was relatively easy, and the first 2 weeks went by pretty quickly. Okay, quick update. I just finished filming a video, and it's 2 weeks since I deleted all my social media apps from my phone. It's going well. So far, I have been sticking to it. I haven't used Instagram, Facebook. So with Instagram, I only go on there to post something on my page, very targeted onto my profile, click post, and then post whatever I need to post, and then just check in on that day and the next day if there have been any comments. But I don't scroll whatsoever, and I don't look at any stories or anything. Same with Twitter and Facebook. The interesting thing was with YouTube, because what I said when I started, I think, was that I can watch 2 videos per day after 9 p.m. But then when I started the first week, I actually didn't watch any YouTube. And then I think on the weekend I had a bit of a binge night where I watched all the videos that I didn't watch throughout the week. So I guess that's within the rules, right? In terms of like productivity, I think in the first week I was definitely a lot more productive because I literally didn't know what else to do. So I ended up sitting at my computer, working, and not browsing too much or getting distracted by anything. Tomorrow starts the 3rd week. Let's see how we go. I'm definitely still in it and still committed to continue with this experiment. It definitely feels nice, to be honest. And yeah, I'm excited to report back in another couple of weeks to let you know how I go and if there are any other findings I can tell you about. Now, balancing social media detoxing as a creator can be really difficult because, this is how we share our content or connect to our audience. We are constantly told that in order to grow an audience online, we need to keep engaging with our community. During my experiment, I was still posting, but I wasn't really engaging with my followers or fellow creators through comments and DMs. So I don't think as creators we can completely check out of social media. When the 30 days were over, I didn't actually realize at first, as I had got so used to not having social media, and I quite enjoyed it. So I wasn't waiting for the day to come where I can download all the apps again. My initial thought was that I might just keep going. But since then, some of the apps have found their way onto my phone again, mostly out of convenience. For example, instead of deleting Instagram after posting a reel, I kept it on my phone, and now I'm already noticing some of those old habits creeping in again. So, what is my assessment of this experiment? Was it worth it? I didn't miss not having the apps, and I kind of expected this to be the case because I'm generally more of a passive user and mostly consume content rather than engage and comment a lot. For me, it definitely had the desired effect of removing some triggers for procrastination, and I got a lot more done. Even though I didn't follow some of the rules exactly how I defined them in the beginning, I can at least say that I consumed a bit more intentionally, especially when it comes to YouTube, because that was my biggest time killer. So, could I imagine myself not using social media at all? I could, but it doesn't really make sense for me. I really enjoyed not having the apps on my phone. It's undeniable though that as a creator, it's really important to be active on social media because, ultimately this is where we share our content and connect to our audience. So it's essential, but it's important that you find the balance that works for you. If you feel you're wasting time, not achieving your goals, procrastinating all the time, maybe you need a circuit breaker like this to recalibrate how you spend your time between your projects and social media. I know for myself that I want to learn to be a lot more intentional with social media, and taking time off regularly will probably help me with that. The main goal for me is to beat procrastination and to keep working on my channel as a part-time YouTuber and be, effective with the little time I have to do the work. In the book The War of Art, writer Stephen Pressfield explores all types of resistance that artists experience and that keep us from doing our work. He says, "Never forget, this very moment we can change our lives. There never was a moment, and never will be, when we are without the power to alter our destiny. This second, we can turn the tables on resistance. This second, we can sit down and do our work. So, if you're struggling with procrastination right now, maybe it's time for you to try a social media detox for yourself. And if you do, let me know how you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it to this point, it would really mean a lot if you give this video a like, because it makes a massive difference. Subscribe if you want to stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.